Hi guys. Today we are going to handle the third part of our networking series, which is the how. And today we're going to focus on two different approaches. I only have one goal today, and that's to provide you with two unique approaches that you're not going to see in other articles and other videos. And so I want to focus on the in-person part and then the LinkedIn part. I've done two other videos, which I will attach at the end, about always be connecting and knowing the basics. So the first type of in-person event that you typically think of is your standard job networking event. And one of the reasons why many people don't have success at this type of event is they take the very cookie cutter approach. They either have their LinkedIn ready, they have their business cards ready, they actually have a printed resume, and they're just kind of handing out their resume and talking about what they're looking for. And so the approach I want you to go in with is don't pitch yourself at all. Go in with an intent to help. And so let's say you meet Sue, for instance, and you tell Sue, hey Sue, tonight my intent is to see if I can help others, and so I'd really like to start with you and see if I can ask you some questions and see if I might be able to help you. And if they act strangely, just say, look, I'm trying to be a little creative and different because these networking events can be really challenging, something that they'll really resonate with. So ask what they're passionate about. What does their ideal position look like? Is there a merging of the two? So something they're passionate about and something they have skills with? What's going well in their job search? What are some of the challenges that they're having? And is it possible that you have any LinkedIn connections that might help them? And by the way, LinkedIn had a major update and upgrade to their app about 6 months ago. So if you haven't used it in 6 months, it's way better than it used to be. Lastly, one other way that you can really stand out at a job networking event is to have something a little bit different than a business card. So you could come in with cookies printed with your email address on them, or you could buy a little toy where you write your LinkedIn address on it. Neuromarketing teaches us that props have a lasting impression on people, and people will take that home with them. And so that's really, really important. I tried this at a networking event in 2010 where we were asked to pitch ourselves. So I thought, pitch, pitch, pitch. And I brought in a baseball for everybody at the event. I wrote my LinkedIn address on the baseball, and I still hear from people that say they have the baseball sitting on their desk. And again, it just goes to show you the power of a prop over a business card or a resume. So let's streamline into the second most common way that you're going to network outside of a typical job networking event. And this might be at a meetup or a volunteer event. And so again, you go into these events being a very strong active listener, being somebody who asks a lot of questions, talk about people's passions, their family, what have they been watching or reading lately that's really intriguing them. And so let's use Habitat for Humanity as an example. Let's say you go and work for Habitat for Humanity for the day. Well, you're going to know going in that people probably care about affordable housing, probably care about others. So you probably want to become a little bit more knowledgeable in the space. So as you're talking with people and engaging with people, you can share really important information about that same space. Now, as you meet people, really be listening and then be hearing what intrigues them, and go back to the next meeting same time the following week, and hopefully you'll see some of the same faces, and you'll be able to provide them with some additional resources like, oh, I read this book on subject X that you were talking about, you should really check it out. Do you have an email address where I can best share that with you? Now, meetups and volunteer events, it's going to be the same type of philosophy, but this is your giving first, your active listening, and this is building your network for your job search. It doesn't seem that way, but this is the way it really works, and this will help you, especially as you're sharing information and getting people's contact information. So let's flip over to LinkedIn. This is such a big one for me because I can always tell you that 99% of the way that people reach out to me is they either send me a resume and they say, get me a job. And then the second way is that now, because I'm working for myself, I get a lot of the messaging saying, come talk to us. We'll help you get clients. We'll help you market. And Both of these are self-serving, right? Again, you want to get back to that giving approach. So my approach, and the way that I've been sharing is I've been sharing these free videos, and these free videos do take time. I do the research, I do a prep, I edit them, so I'm hoping that they're providing value. So let's talk about one crazy strategy that is probably different from anything you've seen. Let's say you're trying to get a job at Google, and you want to get this job at Google, but you don't know how to network with people, but you're also a hiker. So you like Google, you like hiking. I would literally type into the LinkedIn search Google and in caps, hiking in parentheses. And so what that will pull up is employees who are currently at Google or have previously been at Google and have hiking somewhere in their LinkedIn profile. Reach out to them with a note. Hey Sue, came across your profile. I've been to this really cool hiking meetup the last couple weeks and just thought I'd share it with you. Your background looks really cool and I thought you'd be an interesting person to meet. Thought I'd share. And again, if Sue comes back and says this is a strange approach, just say, look, I like connecting with people. I saw that this was a passion that you and I both had. Feel free to bring a significant other, bring a colleague, bring a family member. You know, I want you to feel comfortable. Obviously, this is a meetup that's out there. It's public. It's a safe place. Now, if Sue does show up, just ask a ton of questions, but also introduce Sue to others. Don't monopolize all of Sue's time, and then kind of step back and see if you can make more of a connection at the end of that event. So, will this approach work? There's a good chance that this approach is not going to work, right? I would say the likelihood that Sue responds and actually goes to that hiking event, maybe it's 5%, maybe it's 10%. But that 5 to 10% has a much higher likelihood than you sending your resume in, which has less than 1% of a chance, right? So this is a very strategic way to go about it. But again, this is what is required in today's job economy, in today's job market. You need to stand out. And I can guarantee you, if Sue doesn't go to that hiking event, you will at least have been memorable because you did something different and you took a really different approach. Now, this is just one way. There are a million different types of ways to connect with people on LinkedIn. My 3 suggestions are: my first video, always be connecting. Building lifelong relationships will help you be a great networker. Secondly, just knowing the basics of networking, the ins and outs, is really important as well. And then the third one, kind of just taking a different approach. You will catch people off guard in a good way if you come across with positive messaging and you're always giving first and listening. If you like my content, please like. If you have any comments, please comment below. And if you like my overall content, please subscribe. Have a great day.